Stella's just right here. She's just I keep sitting here waiting to start. She's having a really, really bad day. It really sucks. I feel really bad for her. She had crawled up in the chair and she had gone to sleep. She keeps having these intense dreams while she's sleeping because she starts running and she's crying or barking or whatever. Like it's super intense, whatever's going on. And it even woke me up this morning because she was having one, and I kept hearing this noise. And I wake up, and I, get to that conscious state of awareness, and then I was like, "What is that noise?" And then I realized, oh, she's running on her little bed. It was like, oh my God. And she's like, And it was like super dramatic, but she's been like that all morning. So she's laying up here in this chair. And then this longest fart is coming out of her. And it's like, oh, poor baby. Her stomach is, I just know everything on her is hurting. And I know it has to do with being outside and the toxins. And it's just sad because, they're trying to kill all of us, because we have some sort of state of awareness, of consciousness that they want to repress and keep more in submission. But, the animals, they don't deserve this. Plants don't deserve this. None of us deserve this. But, there's so much aftermath in their attacks on us. And it's sad. And this all day long. All day long. I am not even kidding. I have never had her bark so much as she has in the past few days. Hey, that's enough. Stell, that's enough. Okay, got it. Okay. It's just constant. I keep thinking, what is she hearing something? Like, with the frequencies, she could very well be hearing something with their way they vision. She could very well be seeing things. Like, I have no idea. But she is so on edge, and she jumps up every few minutes, starts barking. She goes outside. She runs outside. She wants to bark, 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 bark. I'll go out there. I'm looking. There's nothing, and she's just barking and barking and barking. And she will even sit out there, and she'll start barking, and then she'll start howling. I love the howling, but it just gets so emotional. It's like a blues singer, just whoa. She's just out there just moaning it, and so now I don't know. I know that there's stuff going on, and so one of the things that I think is really cool. I see how the universe works. I swear to God, because I'm just on here, and I'm just talking to. The few people who come in and listen to me, and what is that? God, I'm getting so blind. It's horrible. So horrible. That's the one thing with the TikTok. It's so small. I have such a hard time reading. And I do think I probably, maybe I do take some people's stuff the wrong way, There was somebody who said something. And so I did a question. There's something you can reply to somebody. If you have something longer to say, then you can't just fit in your comments. Sometimes you can just do a bunch of comments. It depends on what, you're trying to respond to them. But you can answer or reply by doing a tape like this to answer them. And I had one person, that's not what I was saying. I wasn't trying to attack you or something. It was like, I kept reading the comment. I was like, I'm pretty sure my response goes with this comment, but I just deleted it. I'm not trying to hurt somebody's feelings or misunderstand somebody. I'll apologize to somebody if they're like, hey, I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry. But you do get so many attacks. But it's so funny is, when I got my account suspended, and I was just amped up. Because on my TikTok, it's always just, because I have family that follows my TikTok. See that my old TikTok, when I had started it was, I don't know that they followed it. I don't even remember the whole thing around when I started my other TikTok. Because Jordan was here. I'm sure she's the one who told me to start it. She said, you can't just do one social media. You have to do more than one and link them all together. That's how you get a further reach. So I was like, oh, okay. So I started doing the TikTok. And, I was really having fun with it. I had tons of followers and tons of people I was communicating with and stuff. And, you know, they kept doing community guidelines, like I said, on weird stuff, like the glass you look through, community guidelines, stars, community guidelines. It was like, what? And, you know, when they try and keep away, you know, you talk about chemicals and poisons and stuff. It was like, what? So, and if you were on there all the time, you would hear what other people are being taken down for. It's the same stuff. I mean, they are really, their biggest block is, you know, don't think outside the box. Don't use common sense. I mean, they're working so hard in their programming and indoctrinating, and you can see what it's done to the younger people. You can see as they've done this over the generations. I mean, it's real clear for those of us who live differently to be able to step back and see, like, you know, we used to be able to leave our doors unlocked. You could leave your doors and windows open. You could fucking leave your keys in your car. You could let your kids go out and roam around neighborhoods without parental supervision. I mean, there's a reason. They've taken us into a dark place. And it would not surprise me at all if, you know, like the Night Strangler, Night Stalker, or whatever, all of these different serial killers have been MK Ultra'd. I mean, when I found out that just everything, when you start looking into stuff and the more stuff you find out, the more you wouldn't put anything past anybody. I mean, some of the stuff now that comes to my mind is like, oh my God, I bet you that's right. I thought of one that was just so absurd the other day, and I was like, oh my God, why didn't I ever put those pieces together before? I bet you $100 that's right. And, you know, I mean, especially because the Manson thing, I mean, that was like a Trump thing for me. It was like, what the hell? So, you know, once you see, like, I mean, they have so many of these organizations that are there, just there, the cleaners and the sweepers and the assassin. That's all they're there for, is to go up and clean up the mess. You know, if they took me out, I'm going to be leaving here in a couple days and go visit the family, which it's going to be, I think I'm leaving 5/5. So I can go and be, because my mom and I always go out. That's our thing. We always go for Mexican food, and she saw the sign and Cinco de Mayo. And so I was like, well, I'll try and be there because I was going to be coming in 2 days later. I was like, well, I'll just go, I'll come earlier and then I'll just leave sooner so that we can go to the Cinco de Mayo, you know, dinner special or whatever. And so, you know, and if they decide to take somebody out, it's so easy. I mean, they just go up, you know, you go stop and get gas, come up, you know, get gas next to you, spray something, and, you know, 5 minutes later, you've crashed your car. I mean, they're so sophisticated in their killing. There's always just a story they put out, you know, because they control all of it. They control the stories that we're told. So one thing, though, is, you know, being taken down and going in on, because on the other TikTok, I didn't worry about, you know, my family stuff. But in this one, when Jordan, it was like, oh, you got to start when, I wish I could remember, because I swear, no, I feel certain she was the one who told me to start the first one. And then it got taken down. And every time I lose an account, my kids and everybody in my family is like, oh, well, you should just watch what you say. You shouldn't be saying things then. They're going to get you taken down. It's like every time my fingernail hits the couch, she barks. So every little, she's on edge. So, Stella, it was my fingernail. So, when I started this one, you know, because she was, when that one viral video, she, you know, she's like, everybody wants to know more about you. Start a TikTok so everybody can, you know, go off and talk to you or whatever. And I kept being like, man, I don't know if those people be interested in, you know, if they just want to see me do some stretches, eating chips and, you know, dance around, then maybe they aren't that interested in what I have to say. Like, I don't know about this crossover here. And so when she finally linked my account to it, this account, and people came and saw what I was talking about, she got attacked. I felt bad for her. You know, she got attacked. I'm blocked right now on her account, so I have no idea what's going on. I don't know if she's taking down all the videos about me or whatever. You know, yeah, I don't know. But a lot of the other family members follow me, and to the point where, because my daughter's friend, you know, all these younger people, they are on TikTok all the time. And so my daughter, you know, her friends would be like, oh my God, you're so TikTok famous. You know, and so all of these younger people started following me, my daughter's friends and all that stuff. And I was just trying to be like upbeat, like get people to think, you know, about love and happiness and quit focusing on negativity. So it was Kelly Hart Loves, and I tried to do stuff that was upbeat all the time. And so I did little cooking things, you know, just stuff to try and be positive. And then when they put me on suspension here, I was so triggered. I was like, this is some bullshit. I've got to have some place to speak out. I've got to speak my truth. So I went on there and said some stuff, and it, you know, I mean, now it's within a week and a half or something, it's 12,000 followers. So it's gone from when I got suspended on here, I was at 750 followers or something, maybe 800, something like that. And then now it's over 12,000. And then they also, their little thing is the way they judge, you know, the thing you're fishing for, that what you're trying to capture over there is your likes. And now it's gone up to like 85,000 likes, where it was probably, I don't know, maybe, geez, I don't even think it was 3,000. I don't know. It wasn't very, maybe it was 5,000. I can't remember it all, but it's been going up so much because so many people are starved for connection and truth over this crazy world, right? So I have been, you know, now I'm just speak out and say whatever. And I have other kids, like everybody's kind of like, whoa, nobody's saying anything. I think I've kind of just blown some of my family members away. Like, man, what is mom talking about? Maybe she's crazier than we thought. I don't know. But, you know, it's one of those things you got to just risk, you know, and put it out there. I'm not going to sit there. You know, they need to know where I stand on this stuff. They need to understand what I'm saying. They've never been able to hear me every time I speak to them. The indoctrination programming just gets in the way. They cannot hear me. They cannot understand me. And maybe, you know, them seeing how many people are thinking like me will get them to kind of be like, wait a minute, maybe she's onto something. I don't know. But, you know, I mean, each soul has to awaken. You can't, I'm telling you, you can't force it. I have tried so freaking hard, thinking, you know, I had to save my kids. They're my kids. I got to save them. But doesn't work. Everybody, this is a one-man job. You got to save yourself. Save yourself. That's it. But, you know, I mean, it's a show. It's a movie. It's not. People take it so seriously. Everybody thinks it's so real. This is so real. And I've seen so many people, I mean, you know, a lot of people are real stuck in certain areas of the stuff, like I keep saying. But so many people are just, oh my gosh, they just don't question anything. And then when you do, they just come in. I had somebody just sitting there telling me, because I started watching, yesterday I sat here all day and was listening to just what's on right now, you know, the little high hertz meditation, you know, tunes or whatever, you know, there's tons and tons of them out there. So I just turned those on. And so I was listening to those all day. And so my eye, and I, you know, I'll go on TikTok and watch TikToks and stuff like that. And so my eyes were just killing me. And I was like, okay, I just want to lay down on the couch. I just want to go to sleep, because I'm getting so jacked up with my sleep when she's in a crisis. Oh my God, my sleep's fucked. And so I just wanted to lay down, put on some movie, and I put on this. So I went on Plex, my brother's Plex. And you know, he's asleep. So this stuff he picks is way different than somebody who's awake would pick. And so he had put a new movie on. It was something about space, and I was like, oh, I'll watch that, you know, see how that goes. I couldn't even get through 20 minutes of it. It was something where they're saying this it's got Halle Berry, it's got some other people in it, but the moon in this movie, the thing is that okay, so the moon, is that called cycles? What is that called? The way they say the moon and the sun move. Well, anyways, in this movie, it said it started going the other way. It started going backwards. What's happening in this world? It's going the wrong way. And then they have these parts of these spacemen out in space, flying through space. You know, like if they're not tethered to their ship, they just take off flying. And I was like, oh my God, the lies. Look at how they just get people to think. So I did one on that. And oh my gosh, that's funny because there's a lot of people who, Jesus Christ, Stella, there's a lot of people who understand, you know, NASA's lie and everything's a lie and question everything, you know, and so they're open to a lot of stuff. And they are, you know, and plus there's a lot of people who do understand about space and, you know, the lies behind it all. So then, but you have other people, oh my gosh. Oh, so you think you're a physicist? Where's your degree? Like, you got that piece of paper, they'll believe anything. It's just proven over and over and over. You just come up, you put your name and you put a bunch of letters at the end. I'm a PhD, MD, whatever. You start adding on those things. Oh, you've got their attention. Oh, please, my Holy Savior, give me the, you know, it's like, oh my God. It doesn't take much, you know. It doesn't take much to get them to, I see so clearly now why they get this whole thing about people are sheeps and they're just cattle, they'll believe whatever. You just tell them, hey, I'm smart. I've got a piece of paper that says so right here. That just reminded me so much of The Wizard of Oz. And they gave him that piece of paper to show he had brains. They gave him a piece of paper. That's so funny. But it really is, you know, I feel really, really good about it because it's given me such an opportunity to, you know, it's kind of like, you know, it's like you go in and spray the thought police in there, fume the room with thought police, you know, get people to start thinking, you know, wake up some kind of thinking in your brain. Stop just following a narrative. Stop just following what you're told. Think outside the box. People are so uncomfortable to think outside the box. They're so trained to stay in the cage. Don't go outside the cage. There's danger, danger. And then they get everybody to be the police to keep you in the cage. Anybody comes out of the cage, whoa, get back in that cage. You have no business out here. We don't want to hear what you have to say. Have you got your piece of paper that says that you can speak? And now they've got a new organization. Because they've got, you know, the 3-letter agencies are, you know, they're here to take control. And now they've got another one that is basically they are going to try and go after any of us. I mean, I guess, I don't know if we can be jailed or what their plan is. You know, just come in and, you know, shoot us with a ray gun or something. I'm not sure what the hell they're going to do. I mean, for all I know, they could stop time, walk in here, kill me, put in a replacement that's going to start saying all different things. You know, I think that's one thing too to notice when they do have people that are one way and then all of a sudden they're a different way and they're saying different things. It's like, you know, just like the Chappelle thing. They just, especially if you have a following, especially if you have an audience, you know, then they just come in, take you and put in a replacement to misdirect and guide people in the direction they want them to go. So, you know, that's part of the way they run things. I mean, that's just a fact. But one thing is with the nicotine. Oh, I'm positive now. I'm onto something. You know, science is all about create a hypothesis and then collect data. You know, and that's what we're all science experiments. That's why we're all like they're just collecting data off of us. Like, okay, if we spray aluminum and then in the water we have arsenic and then we you know, use a lot number and we put this and, you know, then they collect data. Okay, how many died? Okay, how fast did it go? Okay, what did they die from? Okay, you know, they log it all. They figure out what is going to work. And their agenda is genocide. So, you know, that's what they're always looking at. But so when I had said that, you know, about the 45 years ago, by no coincidence, all of a sudden they decided that cigarettes kill. And I think it's probably, it was kind of like a beard for them where they could be like, oh, we got all these people now getting cancer. You know, we've been giving them all these toxins and they've all got cancer, but what better thing? It's like two birds, one stone right here. We got it handled, you know? So then they, spin the story and give you the story. And then they are like, oh, we got to get rid of the cigarettes. Well, they could only do so much, you know. And it's funny too, when you think about like when they say, oh, cigarettes are bad for you. Well, Coke is bad for you. How many people are dying from diabetes and heart disease? How many things do they have in our regular diet that they promote? McDonald's, why hasn't McDonald's been closed down? I mean, this stuff is killing people. So, but you're real concerned about cigarettes? That's so weird. That's very interesting. So I would think there's something in cigarettes that you don't want us to have. Did you know they're even now creating a synthetic nicotine? Yeah. So when you put these things out there, you start getting a lot of comments, you start getting more information. And the e-cigs and stuff like that, they're putting a synthetic nicotine in it now. And that's the thing is what people don't seem to get is chemicals cause cancer, not nature. Nature's not giving us cancer. Nature has everything to keep us alive, not kill us. They are giving us cancer through chemicals and killing us through chemicals and then blaming it on nature. But it's, that's a spun story. So with the nicotine thing, there were so many comments of people who have been around. There was one, there's a whole bunch of these, but I'll just give you this one. So this girl, she was young and she was a hillbilly. She lived out in the mountains with her grandparents or whatever. And she was she walked out onto the porch barefooted and she stepped down right with her foot right next to a copperhead. And she said, she stood there for 5 minutes, not moving, and the copperhead just sat there and didn't do shit. And she's a smoker. And then her grandma walked out, who wasn't a smoker, and the snake turned around and bit her. That was story after story after story. The same thing. That there's something in the nicotine that it puts off certain animals. And Indians and all that, not only did they used to smoke it, but in all these indigenous people and hillbilly people, the people before us, that not only did they smoke it, but it had other uses. They would take tobacco leaves and do something on the skin. I'm not sure all of the stuff, like you could look it up. Could be for burns, cuts, I'm not sure, but they definitely used it for other things. Just like, when they're telling us that dandelions are bad for us and, we got to kill them, and they're really the best thing in the world for us. So, all these things, and that's what I had been saying since for how long now about the mushrooms and the weed, marijuana, and all of that stuff, that I was a law-abiding citizen. I was going to be, I wasn't going to smoke a joint. Are you kidding? I'm, I'm better than that. And then, once I started going off the pharmaceuticals and I started smoking, and then when I started smoking, I started being like, oh, wait, this is connecting me to a realm. Like, I like this realm here. So there was purpose. I mean, in those things they want to block from people. They don't want you to have these spiritual enlightening moments. They don't want you to, do mushrooms and, have an opening of your consciousness to understand what this world really is all about. They don't want you to have the things that keep you healthy and safe. And it makes total sense when they know that the vermin can kill us, and they can kill us so quickly, and that would be like, well, nicotine would stop that. We better pull that. We don't want any of that. And now that they're trying to, well, I mean, if they've already put the ban in, the FDA already put the ban in, so whatever, we have a surplus of products left. But if they're not going to bring more in, who knows when it runs out, when the shelves become empty. We're watching that as it goes with the food. I mean, what they're doing with the food and stuff is the same thing. And now they're going to pull a bunch of people talking about they're pulling menthol cigarettes. And one person said, most black people smoke menthol cigarettes. So, see how they target people? If all of the menthol cigarettes are pulled and then they're injecting them with, or dropping it through the water, however they're getting it into each group, each, different petri dish out there, that then those people are going to be more susceptible. So they pull off the menthol, then all of a sudden we're going to have a huge amount of people who will die. So they're, I don't know. You can't, until people have something that really affect them. Like I feel excited and good about saying stuff and getting people to think and talk about it, talk about things, and talking about stuff that's going on physically, getting people to tune into their own bodies and understand what's going on. And then I had one guy, sitting there saying like, well, I'm just trying to keep my vibration high and ignore it all. I'm just trying to stay focused on the good or whatever. And I said, well, I kind of think it's, it's the Trinity. It's mind, body, spirit. You got to tune into your body and acknowledge what your body is going through. Because your body's going through some shit. Your body's under attack. You can sit there, and want to remove your spirit from your body, but it is this union that you have to come into with your body, I've talked about it so much, how vital it is as you to become whole. And how many people like, wow, I'm not going to pay attention to what's going on in my body. Fuck that. I got to stay uplifted feeling. It's like, well, then you're kind of missing the point. And see, what I'm saying is, when I say some of these people who think they're so high vibe and they're just, they're really in there with the high vibe, and everybody just needs to get on their page. Stop paying attention to stuff. Don't pay attention. She's just moving my thing. Don't pay attention. Don't acknowledge anything. Pretend like nothing's going on. And, that's completely discounting your experience. Your experience is happening for you. Your experience is happening for you to expand yourself, whatever that is. I think it is important to tune in, tap in, and, acknowledge what your body's going through. And then do what you can to assist it, just like you would any sick person. If you had somebody laying in your house sick, you would be doing things to care for them, no matter what was causing the sickness, right? So when your body is going through that, wouldn't you need to do the same thing? Like, people just don't realize that they're separate from their body. But, I had that wonderful experience of getting that opportunity to come out of my body and seeing that I am the same outside of my body. There's no difference. So it is me experiencing this body. You know what I also thought of yesterday too? Let me see if I can make sense of this one. Because it was about people's body and about what people look like. And remember what I was saying about the aging and stuff, because Your body is representative of who you are on the inside. So it's not so much of what, your features look like or any of that stuff, your size, your shape, your color or something. It's something else that comes through. And your body represents who you are. So there is, and it's not to say like if somebody is in a disabled, broken body, then means they have a disabled, broken soul. No, those people who are in those are often the most cleanest souls around you because they are here to, it is kind of it brings a certain energy around people. When people are around people who are disabled, it brings a certain amount of empathy and compassion up in a person. So those people that come in and go through those experiences, it has great purpose in life because it helps to bring forth compassion and love and stuff like that. So it's not about that, but it is about the way you feel about yourself will show through your body. So you can tell if somebody doesn't care about themselves, doesn't take care of themselves, that they just, it's kind of like they're not maintaining their car. Like if you think about somebody who has a car, some people go out and they just are washing it, wiping it, cleaning the inside, just taking beautiful care of this vehicle, just completely proud of this car. Sometimes they worked hard for it and have great appreciation. And then other people, have theirs and they'll just drive it. They don't give a shit that they got duct tape holding it on, tires are falling off and they're just like, I don't care. It gets me from point A to point B. And they just don't really care. Your body is your vehicle and it will express how you feel on the inside about yourself. And so it's really clear when people don't really care about themselves. They don't really I think that it becomes really obvious. And I think that some of this stuff is becoming so much more clear. Like I can see so much. Oh my God, she keeps farting. This is rough. She's right below me with her. I know she doesn't feel good, poor little girl. But that is this division. Like when you go in and you read the comments, like the different people's attitude. It's the attitude. Their attitude is just so much of like desperate to hold on to the narrative, but they've got such a bully way of going about things, They are the ones that are standing there like with the whip. You try and get out of your cage. They got a chair and a whip. They're going to slam you right back in there. And I don't know how much of that is created by programming and indoctrination. I mean, I know my kids and families in deep, like super deep. And I know they're all really good people. I know they're all caring, loving people who just want to live their lives and be happy. They don't, mostly, would they say they don't even care about government and what's going on outside of their households. And I think that is, becoming clear. I think that's part of the awakening, is to start noticing what's going on with other people, connecting with other people and hearing what's happening with everybody else. And that is like what I said with the disabled person, whatever, it brings up that compassion and that empathy in others. And that's what, they all need to have triggered inside of them. And, some of the people are so, in these comments, are so bitter and angry. I'll even go in and look and see. And if it's somebody who is like 11 followers and 0 likes, then it's like, oh, this is a bot account. I don't even say anything. I'll just delete them. It's pointless. There's people who are actually just paid there's people who are actually have a job to go in, because it's not just automated. There's automated ones, but there's actually people who go in and have a job and sit there under user 5932 all day long looking for people who are saying certain things and go in and just call them stupid all day long. That's what they do to get paid. I think they work out of their house even. You know, that's how great the system is for you. They'll give you a job. You can work at home. You just got to destroy humanity. But, you know, don't worry about that. We'll give you a special little thing at the end. You know, you will get your due. So, yeah, what are you going to do? Be the last person left on the planet because all the rest of us were killed? Like, some of these people have no insight. They have no ability to, you know, look at the future. What if we went in this direction? Where would that lead us? What would happen? I mean, when I was growing up, we all thought we were heading in a good direction. And look where we are. You know, it's time for us to step back and go, hey, what happened here? How did we go from having our doors unlocked and kids out riding their bikes all day having fun and parents, you know, communing together and forming relationships and community? You know, what happened? You know, it's up to us to step back and see what happened and understand, you know, and decide, what do we want from life? What do we want our kids to have from life? I want my grandkids, I mean, it's too late for them, but I definitely want my grandkids to get to experience life like I did as a child, being free, being able to go out and explore and, you know, have fun on this planet. And, you know, they want to trap you in a device. They want to trap you into a virtual world where your consciousness is just focused on that. It's the trap. It's where people were like, oh, people are just addicted to social media. No, it was a set out trap to trap your consciousness. And people don't even know what to do with themselves if they're not glued to their phone, which is, you know, ironic because I keep being on my phone right now. But I am doing it to for the I'm trying to enlighten people. I'm trying to get people to think. So there is a duty to it right now for me, because normally I wouldn't. Normally I'll do my recording and then put my phone down and do other things. And I don't pick it up unless I'm doing my recording. But now with all of this action going on TikTok, because there's a lot of action. Every time I pick up my phone, there's tons of stuff going. So, you know, you can sit there all day long, answering people, talking to people, trying to give people information. And, I think it's important to just get people to ask the questions. You don't have to answer them for them. It won't do you any good to answer questions for people. They have to see it for themselves. They have to go out and look for the information. And the problem is that they have been blocked with fact checkers and all of the misinformation bunch, you know, that stop you from looking for anything. Oh, no, that's nothing to see here. Go the other way. Go the other way. You know? And so many people do. Oh, see, I told you. That's not true. It's like, So they put up a wall and you don't know how to get around it, because you better figure out how to climb over it, or you're going to be stuck there in ignorance for a long time. That's all that, you know, that's all you can really do. Like, you can put a ladder up and show them how to get over the wall. But if they choose to not go over the wall and sit there, then those will be their lessons. That is their lesson. There's no reason to sit there and try and convince, like, oh, you know, I will make it my duty. I will convince you of my truth. It doesn't do any good. It doesn't matter. Their soul has their own journey. And if it is for them to sit there and the whole world wake up and them to sit there twiddling their thumbs, then that's their journey. So, and I'm not going to be put off or feel, if they want to attack me or something. I don't. How can you give any validity to somebody who is ignorant and judgmental and, very misdirected? Like, all of these things, these people, that carry inside of them are not people that I would go like, oh, I'm really worried about what they think of me. No, I'm not. I don't even know. I mean, obviously I care about what my kids and stuff think of me, because this has been quite, to start being out there on TikTok with saying stuff like I say on here, then it is, that's a lot more, that's a lot more on my mind than some Joe Blow user 5432 thinks. I don't give a shit what you think, dude. I don't know you. Like, I care about people who are suffering, especially suffering in silence or suffering out of confusion when they don't know what's going on. But, I'm not going to care if you are just going around trying to shut people up and shut people down and control people. That's not cool. That's part of the problem. That's part of the programming. That's part of what we're trying to break free from. We should all have our own opportunities to go out and figure out our own truth. It doesn't matter if your truth doesn't match anybody. It doesn't matter if you don't have facts for your truth. There is no facts in supernatural. That's what they've always been able to use so that they can say it doesn't exist. Well, where's the facts? Where's the facts you have life after death? Well, you either know it or you don't know it. You don't need facts. That's an individual's experience. And it's each person, to their own ability, of their own understanding, has to figure those things out for themselves. There's so many people who still don't understand about reincarnation. And reincarnation is the most simple explanation to life. It's like you're going and looking at everything that is hard and wrong and makes no sense, instead of looking at the most obvious thing. It's like we're annuals. We come back. Is it the annuals or is it the perennials? But nature has a way to come back, even with the trees and the different things that go dormant and die in seasons, and then they come back. It's the same with souls. I mean, it's part of nature. It's a part of the movement. And when people start really understanding about how amazing nature is, that we can project ourselves into a reality to experience ourselves. What more do you need? What more do you need in life to have fun? Just understanding who and what you are and the abilities that we have. I think it's fascinating. I think the awakening is such a beautiful thing to get to really understand so much more about this reality, about who we are, what we're doing here, and about the possibilities. It just opens up the possibilities. They want to keep us small, but we want to be big. We want to fly free. And that is what this is all about. So I might be back to say some more. I just don't have that much I feel like to talk about today. So we'll see how this day goes, because something can trigger something anytime. So I might be back. I'll talk to you later. Bye.